Alright, hello everyone. I wanted to show you an update video on the 1998/1972 weather wheel. It's done. I took it all apart. I'm going to post pictures up on the page later, but basically new brighted all the coils. Minimal coil rot in the condenser, but the condenser coil was filthy dirty, almost clogged. The pan was rusty in a couple spots, a couple of pinholes, but scraped all that out, primed it, painted it, added 3 drain holes in the pan, one in each corner in the back, and then one right where it comes out of the evaporator. Oiled the motor, all the usual things got to be done. I had to make a seal for around the weather wheel, and I had to put some weather stripping around this plate here because this is unique to this 90s unit. It's actually not a horrible looking plate. I don't care for the knobs. The knobs really should be beige, but they didn't size it right. It sat really far in there and vibrated around, so I put weather stripping behind it and in front of it to keep it snug when it's in. And it does have thermostat, has a normal thermostat, and it still has a constant on if you want, just like the old units, which is nice. 2-speed blower. Now I'll show you here in the back. Here's the F badge, so that is definitely 70s. And the case really isn't in bad shape. Paint's not too bad on it, so I cleaned it. I'm going to leave it as is. And the paint on the interior portion is pretty nice. Obviously, being the faceplate is from the 90s, it's missing the edging, so it's plainer, but it's got nice texture in it. So I kind of like this face overall. Here, I'll take it off and just show you what's going on behind here. Just give me a second. Okay. Alright, so you can see the evap coil came out real nice. It's clean as could be. Made my filter. Let me take this out, and you can see that's all nice and clean. It's got a guard over that. There was a factory type of filter in here, but it was pretty much useless. And I mean, these all cleaned up real nice. Now, one thing that's unusual about this unit from the older weather wheels are these 2 very thin supply lines that come from the compressor, as opposed to one large line. So consequently, when this unit sits for several hours, I guess the refrigerant oil congeals a little bit. And when you turn the unit on, it takes, I would say, a good 5 minutes for the compressor to build full head pressure and completely flood the evaporator. It only takes 5 minutes the first time you turn it on, and then if you cycle it off and turn it on a half hour later, an hour later, it fills up normally. So I'm hoping that maybe that issue goes away with time, with using this, since maybe it's been sitting. But even if it did do it for 5 minutes the first time you turn it on for the day, who cares? The wattage rises slowly when that happens. So with the kilowatt meter, you can see when the compressor builds full head pressure. Here's the tag again. Now that's clean. It's 9,700 BTUs, 10 amps, 1,080 watts. EER of 9, which is really quite good for a weather wheel. And I mean, obviously it's probably not as good as the other offerings of the era, but for a weather wheel, I think it's pretty good. So let's get this filter back in here. So I got our filter in. All right, so I'm gonna put the cover back on. Just bear with me for a second again. I'll turn it on. Oh, I might as well show this too. On the back of the cover, I made the seal out of some brown weather strip I had, because that was missing. And then I added a little extra here, and then I weather stripped around that so that the metal plate doesn't go vibrating around. But this is a pretty new panel. Okay. All right, so here we are, it's all back together. I'm gonna show the kilowatt meter here so you can see what it'll be consuming. So right now we're 0 watts. And turn it on high fan first. About 134 watts. Low fan, 113 watts. I'm going to turn the thermostat down, and we'll go to low cool. And I want you to hear this compressor, because all in all, you know, this is a Rotorex. There's a little distinct, you know, compressor noise for the first couple of seconds, but after that, it really is quite quiet. So I'm going to come back here and hear it. Hey, this thing's frigid already. And it's, when the ambient in here is probably, it's 68 degrees in here right now. This was running about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. It's cold. So now look at the wattage here. You see it's going up. So it's building head pressure right now. Once we see the wattage stabilize, we know that it's at full head pressure. It's rated at 1,080 watts on high, and so that you will see around 1,000 watts when it's fully, full head pressure on high. Right now we're on a low speed. Go to high cool. See, it's going up. We'll probably get around 1,000 watts eventually. This thing is cold. In my humble opinion, it's no worse than a recip weather wheel in terms of cooling power. This thing is... Oh, look, it's 68 degrees in here. We're getting... I mean, this air is ridiculous. Back and see. And it's nice and warm out back here. .90 degrees, pretty much all across the condenser. We got 100 over there now. Sorry this video is a little longer, but I kind of wanted to show what this thing looked like done. I'm very pleased with it. I wouldn't mind getting some white or beige knobs. And I don't know if the jury's out on the lack of, bright work on the grill. Might experiment with doing a gold leaf transfer or something. I'll have to get out my 65 grill again and compare it. But anyways, thank you for watching.